Hello, class 7th. This is the poem, okay? In this session, we are going to have a look on the poem, and the name of that poem is Dad and the Cat and the Tree, okay? And this poem is from your book, Honeycomb. So please keep the book in hand. There are 13 stanzas in this poem. There are 13 stanzas. As usual, first let's have the look on the introduction about the poet of this poem. Who is the poet of this poem? You can see below the name of the poem, it is there. Kit Wright. Okay. Name of the poem is Dad and the Cat and the Tree. Okay. And the writer of the poet is Kit Wright. Kit Wright. Okay. If we talk something about Kit Wright, he was born on 17th June 1944. And where was he born? He was born in Crockham Hill, that is in Kent. Okay. Now where is Kent? You would ask me, ma'am, what is Kent? We don't know. Now Kent is a county in southeast England. Okay. Kent is a county in southeast England. Kit Wright is the author of more than 25 books for both adults and children. Means he wrote the books for both. He wrote the books for adults also and he wrote the books for children also. Okay. And he is the winner of the awards including Art Council's Writer Award. Okay. Geoffrey Faber Memorial Prize, Hawthorne Dane Prize and Alice Hunt Bartlett Prize. Such kind of awards are being won by Kit Wright. Okay. After the scholarship to Oxford University, he worked as a lecturer at the Brock University, St. Catharines in Canada. He returned to England and a position in the Poetry Society. He is currently a full-time writer. Means he is still alive and he is writing. He is still a writer. Okay. Further, if we talk about the early life of Wright, then as I told you, Wright was educated at Oxford University. Oxford University is the collegiate research university in Oxford, okay? Or you can say it is in England. There is the evidence of teaching as early as 1096, making it the oldest university in the English-speaking world. Okay. Now Wright moved to to Canada to work as a lecturer. He returned in 1970, he returned to London to work as an education officer. If some of his awards, we have read some of his awards, okay. And if we talk about the books which he has written, then he has written Soundling, the selection of poems in 1975, Arthur's Granny in 1978, Arthur's Father in 1978, Arthur's Uncle in 1978, Hot Dog and other poems he wrote in 1892. Okay. So this is something about our writer, or you can say poet of our poem, Dad and the Cat and the Tree. Okay. Dad and the Cat and the Tree. Now by the poem name, what are you able to understand? You are reading at the name. What are you able to understand by that name? Dad and the Cat and the Tree. Take the book in hand as I told you. Okay. Have you ever seen a cat climbing a tree? Sometimes a cat may climb too high and get stuck in the tree. Yes, the cats can climb the tree. Okay. The poor thing can't come down without help. Sometimes the cat climb the tree, but they climb so much high that sometimes it is possible that they cannot come down again without any help. Okay, so how would you help it? How would you help it? Surely we are not going to help as it is being shown in this poem. When we will read the poem, we will see that there is a cat stuck in the tree, and how does the dad of poet, you can say poet's dad, narrator's father, gets the gets the cat down. Okay. Now here you can say, is narrator's dad a good climber, or what were his plans? We will all find out while reading this poem. Okay. So first we will read the whole poem. As I told you, there are 13 stanzas in this poem. Okay, we will read the whole poem and then explanation of the poem stanza wise. Let's move. Let's read the poem Dad and the Cat and the Tree, the 13 stanzas. Each stanza we will read 2 times. Let's see. This morning a cat got stuck in our tree. Dad said, right, just leave it to me. Again, this morning a cat got stuck in our tree. Dad said, right, just leave it to me. The tree was wobbly, the tree was tall. Mom said, for goodness sake, don't fall. The tree was wobbly, the tree was tall. Mom said, for goodness sake, don't fall. Fall, scoffed Dad. A climber like me? Child's play, this is. You wait and see. Fall, scoffed Dad. A climber like me? Child's play, this is. You wait and see. Now what is scoffed? SCOFFED. Scoffed means to speak about something in a way that shows you think that he and she is stupid. Okay. Fourth stanza. He got out the ladder from the garden shed. It slipped, he landed in the flower bed. He got out the ladder from the garden shed. It slipped, he landed in the flower bed. Never mind, said Dad, brushing the shirt. Brushing the shirt means when he fall down, he started cleaning his shirt and he got up. Okay. Never mind, said Dad, brushing the dirt off his hair and his face and his trouser and his shirt. Never mind, said Dad, brushing the dirt off his hair and his face and his trouser and his shirt. We'll try plan B. We will try plan B. Stand out of the way. Mom said, don't fall again, okay. We will try plan B. Stand out of the way. Mom said, don't fall again, okay. Fall again, said Dad. Funny joke. Then he swung himself up on a branch, it broke. Fall again, said Dad. Funny joke. Then he swung himself up on a branch, it broke. Dad landed wallop back to the deck. Mom said, stop it, you will break your neck. Dad landed well up, back to the deck. Mom said, stop it, you will break the neck. Okay, what is wallop? W-A-L-L-O-P. W-A-L-L-O-P. What is wallop? Wallop means to hit somebody very hard. Okay, and what is deck? Deck means one of the floors of, you can say, either the ship or the bus. But here we are talking about the deck, back of the deck. Means father fell from the height. Okay, height. Dad landed well up, back on the deck. Mom said, stop it, you will break your neck. Rubbish, said Dad. Now we will try plan C. Easy as winking to a climber like me. Rubbish, said Dad. Now we will try plan C. Easy as winking to a climber like me. Then he climbed up high on the garden wall. Guess what? He didn't fall. Reading the 10th stanza. Now he climbed up high on the garden wall. Guess what? He didn't fall. He gave a great leap and he landed flat in the crook of the tree trunk, right to the cat. He gave a great leap and landed flat in the crook of the tree trunk, right on the cat. The cat gave a yell. Yell means shouted loudly, okay? The cat gave a yell and sprang on the ground. Sprang means to give a long jump. And sprang on the ground, pleased as Punch to be safe and sound. The cat gave a yell and sprang on the ground, pleased as Punch to be safe and sound. So it's smiling and smirking, smug as can be. But poor old Dad's still stuck up on the tree. Okay, what is smirking? S-M-I-R-K. Smirking means here you can say in a to show off, right? To give and smile in an irritating way. Okay, give a smile in an irritating way. So it's smiling and smirking, smug as can be, but poor old Dad's still stuck up on the tree. While reading the story, we have understood much of it, isn't it? That how did the dad try to climb the tree and save the cat, and what happened? First he fall from the branch, then he fall from the ladder, then he fall like this, and at last when he climbed the wall, he climbed on the big high wall. At that time he was able to rescue the cat, but the cat sprang on the ground from the height of the tree and Dad was still stuck on the tree. Okay, let's move stanza wise. For the first stanza, this morning a cat got stuck in our tree. Dad said, right, just leave it on me. Now these above lines, okay, we all know that these lines are taken from the poem Dad and the Cat and the Tree. This line you would see in each and every stanza of yours, okay. So please keep it in mind. And the writer of this poem is Kit Wright. Okay. Now the poet here in these lines, what is he trying to say? Here the poet is trying to showcase that how the narrator's father takes the responsibility of dealing with the cat. In the two lines we are able to understand that how the narrator's father is telling us that he would take the responsibility to bring the cat down from the tree. Okay, now what is he explaining here? The narrator here is discussing that one morning there was a cat who got stuck in the tree of their garden. Okay, and when the narrator's father saw this, he told him that he will manage to, that narrator's father told him that he will manage to drive the cat away from the tree. Okay, let's see the second stanza. The tree was wobbly. What is wobbly? W-O-B-B-L-Y. Wobbly means the one which shakes, you can say. Okay? The one which is not strong, the one which shakes very easily. It's said to be wobbly. Okay? W-O-B-B-L-Y. Wobbly. Tending to move unsteadily from side to side means this way, when something does not stand steady. Okay. So, second stanza says, the tree was wobbly, the tree was tall. Mom said, mom here means author's mom, okay, narrator's mother. Mom said, for goodness sake, don't fall. Okay, now here the reference is same as it is shown in the first stanza, that these lines are being taken from the poem Dad and the Cat and the Tree. Okay, and what is here trying, what in these lines the poet is trying to say? In these lines the poet is trying to describe that the narrator's mother was concerned about her husband. She didn't wanted her husband to climb on that wobbly tree, tall tree, and fell down. Okay, what is the poet trying to explain? In these lines he is trying to explain that the tree was unstable. Unstable means it was not steady, it was shaking here and there. Okay, and so the poet's mother was in full of doubt that on this shaking tree, if the poet's father climbs and tries to bring the tree down, he might fall down. So she warns her husband that please take care while climbing. Narrator's mother is here in full of doubts that how easy it would be for her husband to climb the tree. So she warns her husband that please climb carefully or he might fall. Okay, in the third stanza, what does the poet say? Let's see. Fall, scoffed Dad. A climber like me. Child's play, this is. You wait and see. Scoffed. While reading the poem, I had told you the meaning of scoffed. What is the spelling of scoffed? S-C-O-F-F-E-D. Scoffed. Scoffed means to speak to someone or about something in a scornfully or mocking way. Okay, so here narrator's father, what is he telling? He is scoffing. Fall, scoffed Dad. A climber like me, child's play this is. You wait and see. Now what is the poet trying to discuss? First let us discuss about what is the poet trying to say here. Then I'll explain you the line. In these two lines the poet is trying to explain how his father laughed away on, how author's father or narrator's father laughed away on narrator's mother's warning. Okay, Listening to the wife's warning, okay, narrator's father was quite surprised. He said to his wife that, what are you talking about? Fall? How am I going to fall? I am a very good climber. You don't know. Okay? And narrator's father dismisses away the warnings given by his wife by saying that he is a very good climber and climbing the tree for him is as easy as a child's play. Okay? In the fourth stanza, Lex stanza, what does poet father do? Let's see. He got out the ladder. He got out the ladder from the garden shed. It slipped. He landed on the flower bed. Okay? Now here in these two lines, the poet is highlighting how narrator's mother's fear proved to be true. Narrator's mother was warning her father, warning her husband that don't climb as the tree is wobbly and he would fall. But narrator's father did not listen to it. He climbed the tree and he fell down. Okay, so in these two lines, the poet is highlighting how narrator's mother's fear proved to be true. And explaining, what is the poet explaining here? Poet is explaining that narrator's father brought the ladder. Ladder means in Hindi you can say CD, or from which we can climb from lower height to higher height. Okay, the narrator's father brings out a ladder from the garden shed. Okay, and as he tries to climb that shed, what happens? He slips down. He slips down and the narrator's father falls on the ground. Okay. Moving to stanza number 5. After falling down, what happens? Never mind, said Dad, brushing the dirt off his hair and his face and his trousers and his shirt. Okay. Now here in these two lines, what is the poet trying to describe? Here the poet is trying to describe that after his father falls down, his father again gathers back his energy. His father doesn't lose his energy. Oh, I fall down, I got hurt, and he doesn't sit silently. Okay, what does the father do? Here in two lines, the poet is also explaining that after falling down, the narrator's father gets up, brushes off all the dirt from his hair, clothes, face, okay, and begins to think about plan C, plan D, everything he had planned, that how could he bring down that cat. Okay, so after falling down, narrator's father brushes all the dirt from the hair, face and clothes and begins to think about another plan to drive away the cat from the tree. Okay. Now in the next stanza, plan B, what is that? We are reading stanza number 6. Okay. We will try plan B, stand out of the way. Mom said, don't fall again. Okay. Okay. Now here what is the poet trying to show? The poet is trying to show in these lines that how the mother seems to be dissatisfied with the plan B as well. The plan A failed Father climbed on the ladder, fall down, and he was full of dirt. So the mother was here again not at all, you can say, satisfied with the plan B as well. She again felt that plan B is also going to fail. So the poet is trying to show us in these lines. Now what is he trying to explain? The narrator's father decides to try plan B. Okay, and he also tells everyone that please stay away of the way. Now I am going to execute plan B. Okay, but again his wife, however, again warns him that please be careful or you might fall again. Okay, means we are seeing here that the poet's narrator's father is trying to climb the tree, but narrator's mother is totally dissatisfied with all the plans that are being made by narrator's father. Okay, moving to stanza number 7. In stanza number 7, what is it the poet's telling us? Okay, here in stanza number 7, we will see how the poet is showcasing the narrator's father, how narrator's father is again dismissing his wife's warning. Let's read the line. Fall again, sad dad, funny joke. Then he swung himself up on a branch, it broke. Yes, we have seen while reading the poem only we saw that how narrator's father again dismisses his wife's warning. Okay, the wife had warned, narrator's mother had warned narrator's father that please don't climb the tree, and if you are climbing the tree, please be careful or you might fall again. But today's narrator's father again dismissed her warning. Means what is the poet trying to explain here? The poet is trying to explain that the narrator's father muses away his wife's warning, still laughing, okay, and calling it a funny joke that again I'll fall. Oh, not possible. Then what did narrator's father do? Narrator's father swung himself on a branch. But what happened? The branch broke and again narrator's father fell on the ground. Okay, means plan B also failed. Moving to stanza number 8. In stanza number 8, what is the poet trying to reiterate? The poet here, the poet is trying to say the narrator's mother's intervention. Means by 2 times the 2 plans which had been failed, after that her mother, the narrator's mother is totally, what is intervention? INTERVENTION. Intervention means interference by a state of another's affairs. Means here she is trying to interfere, you can say, in the narrator's father's plan. Let's read the line. Dad landed wallop back to the deck. Mom said, stop it, you will break your neck. Means what is the poet trying to explain here? First we saw that the poet is trying to show the narrator's mother's intervention. Now we are seeing that narrator's father is falling again and again. In plan first also, while climbing the ladder, he fall down. In plan B also, he tried to swing himself on a branch and the branch broke and he fall down. Okay. Now narrator's father again fell on the ground. So here narrator's mother is begging to him to stop because he might break his neck from falling again and again. Means maybe he can get a big injury by doing this, as he was falling again and again. Okay, now what did narrator's father say to this? Okay, let's see in stanza number 9. Rubbish, said dad. Now we will try plan C. As easy as winking to a climber like me. Means here in these two lines, the poet is trying to highlight how the narrator's father refuses to give up. He is not ready to give up. Though his two plans are failed, plan 1, plan A and plan B, both are failed. But then too, he is not ready to give up. This poet, here in these two lines, the poet is trying to explain us also that narrator's father, when two of his plans were failed, he decided to try plan C. Okay? Because he was still confident that being a great climber, he would get success, he would succeed. So, narrator's father decided to try plan C. Now, what was his plan C? Let's see in stanza number 10. Then he climbed up high on the garden wall. Guess what? He didn't fall. Now, what happened here? Here, the poet is trying to show us that how was narrator's father still trying another plan. Okay, in these two lines the poet is trying to explain us that narrator's father climbed up the high garden wall. First he climbed on the ladder, second he tried to swing on the branch, and in the third plan he tried to climb up the high garden wall. And what happened this time? This time the narrator's father did not fall. Okay, means here we can say that the plan C was successful. Moving to stanza number 11. What happened further? Now, after climbing up the tree, in these two lines, the poet will describe how finally narrator's father got succeed. Okay. Now, narrator's father has climbed a high wall. Let's read the two lines first. He gave a great leap and he landed flat in the crook of the tree trunk, right on the cat. Okay, means we have seen that how did finally narrator's father succeeds. Okay, means here in these two lines the poet is trying to explain that the narrator's father gave leap. Great leap means a big jump, or you can say a big you can say a high jump. Okay, and finally after that he climbed from the high wall of the garden and landed on the treetop, right near where the cat was. Okay, what happened after that? When the narrator reached the cat, what happened? In stanza number 12, we'll see that. The cat gave a yell In the last lines, we can say that the poet is ending the poem humorously. What happened? Let's see. The cat gave a yell and sprang on the ground, pleased as Punch to be safe and sound. Yell. Yell means shout loudly, very loudly. Okay, and sprang means, as I told you, to give a high jump. So, what happened? When the narrator's father reached the cat, what happened? The moment the narrator's father landed on the cat screamed with fear. Okay? And it gave a high jump on the ground and it landed smoothly. And the cat landed smoothly on the ground. Means it seemed that the content, it seemed content with itself. Means it was like that the cat could have come down on its own. All these plans were only just to bring down the cat, but the cat managed to sprang down, or you can say jump down from the tree on its own. The father reached the climbed the tree, reached the cat, tried to bring the cat down, but the cat managed to land on the ground smoothly on its self. Okay, let's see what happens in the last stanza. What happened to the father? In the last stanza, here the poet is trying to state the poor condition or poor state of the father. What happened to the father? Let's see. So it's smiling and smirking, smug as can be, the poor old dad still stuck up the tree. Yes, here in these two lines, yes, we can easily see that the dad is still stuck upon the tree. The cat managed to jump down anyhow, but what happened to the father? The father is still stuck upon the tree. So the poet is describing here the poor stage of the father. The narrator describes here that having been safely landed on the ground, the cat was smiling arrogantly. Here, in these two lines, the poet is trying to say that how did the cat manage to jump, and after jumping, after she landed down on the ground, she was smiling arrogantly that how I managed to come down on my own. How is his father going to come down? And while the narrator's father was still stuck up on the tree. He got on the tree very, you can say, by so much of stress and so much of hard climbing. Narrator's father had reached the tree. Okay, but his father climbed the tree for the cat, and the cat managed to land down on its own. Now the problem was at the place of the cat. Now father had stuck upon the tree. So we saw how narrator's father making different plans to bring down the cat and gets stuck up on the tree in the last. Plan 1, he tried to climb up through a ladder but falls down. Plan B, he tries to climb through a branch but the branch breaks and he falls down. Then he manages to plan C, for which his wife warns him again and again that you will get hurt, please don't try this. But then too his father dismisses his mother's plan, mother's warning, and tries to climb. At last in plan 3, his father's plan succeeds. He manages to climb the tree through the high wall of the garden. And as soon as he reaches the cat, screaming with fear, safely lands on the ground and smiling arrogantly goes away but narrator's father is still stuck on the tree. I hope you have understood the whole poem. You can read the poem. There are 13 stanzas in the poem. Okay, the name of the poet is Kit Wright. Fine. We have ended the poem here. We will soon see the worksheet of this. I'll give you. Okay, hope to meet you all soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.